day 20 of 20 Days of Cutfiles, Confessions of the Paper Addict. We're on the last day, and the prompt today is the night before Christmas. So I took the lovely new released Christmas Eve cut file, and I backed it with some of the solid colored papers that are from Farmhouse Christmas. Is this Cartabella? Or is this... I don't remember. Is this Cartabella or is it... Is it Echo? Cartabella. That's what I thought. Okay. Cartabella... Farmhouse Christmas from last year, one of my favorite collections. I love the vintagey farmhouse look. But anywho, so I've backed this. I think I'm going to emboss Eve in gold. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm leaning towards that. I think that would be fun. And I just have some random photos of my son opening gifts on Christmas Eve with when we were at my sister's house, because that is when we celebrate with family usually is Christmas Eve. Christmas morning's kind of like our time. We keep that to just us three. So Christmas Eve is with family usually. So I've got these photos, my title, and I have no other plans. So let's get started.
Do you know what I love? When you happen to have leftovers from previous projects and they just work and they come together and you make a layout. That's pretty much what happened with this one, which made me super happy. So I had some scalloped borders cut from one of the pattern papers last year, I think, when I was doing some Christmas stuff, and a strip of wood grain, and yeah, and I happen to have a silver washi tape on my desk, so you can see it right there. So yeah, we're gonna go silver instead of gold, which is funny because I think I've used gold for all the other layouts that I've done with this collection, but either way. So what I'm doing is I had 4 photos. One of them was very not clear. It was probably the best photo of his a whole front, like, forward shot of him, but it was blurry. It was blurry as all heck. And the other three told the story better. So I'm definitely going to I trimmed those down, got rid of that other photo. So I have 3 photos. I trimmed them down just a tiny bit so they fit. And then I trimmed them down, and I just happened to trim them down that if I leave a gap, they fit perfectly the same width as the scallop. So the scallop doesn't go all the way to the edge, but the way scallops go, you'd only see a very partial of the edge of one on either ends. So I'm fine that it doesn't go all the way to the end, because it still actually looks like it's the full 12 by 12 length scallop. So I lined my photos up. I had a scallop on top. I put a scallop on bottom. I put that wood grain strip down and a scallop below that. And I'm really liking that. I'm like, this looks good. So I'm just taking a piece of black, one of the black pattern paper, or it's just black cardstock solids. I'm going to put that behind the photo. So I'm lining everything up, and it works best to just line everything up and glue it down as we go. And then I decide to tuck in some of that washi tape, which this washi tape is not sticky at all. It's even like, even though I add ATG under it, I might even have to add some liquid glue. Like, it's even coming up after a few days, even with the ATG. So I think I'm going to have to add liquid glue to it. The funny thing is I have another one that's almost exactly the same, and I think that one's stickier, but I use this one. It's fine. So I lined up where the black is going to go by having the scallop on there, and then I glued that down, and then now I'm like, washi tape. But I want it to get tucked in so that it's mostly on the scallop, because I decided to put it on the bottom, and I like having like a little kind of edge of it along the bottom, and so I wanted to mimic that for the top. So I will move that washi and put it on the bottom, and then decide I do need one up top as well, and I will tuck it under the black solid piece so that it's not as wide and it looks more like a thin ribbon of it, if that makes any sense. But this layout is super simple, but it came together nicely, and I love it. And then so I'm adding my bling that I've been adding to pretty much every layout this whole time, and I'll add some more bling in a little bit. And yeah. And so since I have that wood grain too, that strip of wood grain, I do bring in some of the wood grain elements that are in like the chipboard and the ephemera pieces and stuff, just to kind of bring that across the page. But it I didn't really, like I said, I didn't have a plan. It kind of just fell together and it turned out really cute. One of those deals. See, yeah, I like that with that thin, except for I put it on crooked, that thin silvery goodness right there at the top. And then I'm going to put the photos on there. Glue that down and then get this other scallop down. And then I'm going to pop the title up on foam. And then I'm going to, well, first we're going to emboss the word Eve. Because I want some of that silver. So I've got it at the top, at the bottom. I want some silver glitteriness to be kind of in the middle. And I'm going to apologize right now too, after I do the embossing and I start backing on foam. Apparently I didn't turn my camera back on. And so you guys don't see me doing the finishing touches. But so I'm going to use this silver, it's just Ranger embossing powder. And these are the Ranger embossing pens. And they work really great for things like this. So I can like trace where the letters should be because they kind of blend in with the cut file. So I can trace where the letters should be, where it overlaps parts of that. I'm going to do the silver. And then I'm going to add this very, very old Stampin' Up. It's like a clear glitter shimmer embossing powder. I'm going to add that on top. So I'm going to do the silver first, and then I'm going to get it all embossed, and then I will take the embossing pen and go over it again. And I'm not too keen on being super specific when I go back over it with the pen because one, it's a clear, you're not going to, and it's already embossed with the silver, you're not going to see lines or anything. I just wanted to add some of the sparkly glitter because the washi tape is so glittery and the silver embossing powder is shiny, but it's not glittery. Do you know what I mean? It's silver, but it's just, it's a different type of silver. So I wanted it to be extra glittery. So I'm going to do that and we can watch the magic for a little. And I actually didn't make a huge mess with my embossing powder this time. I'm just kind of proud of myself. I almost did right there. I had little puddles, but that scooped up pretty quick. But then after I do that, I'm going to pop everything up on foam. And then, yeah, I thought I turned my camera on, but I didn't. So I'm going to add some embellishments. So I grabbed a chipboard, Season's Greetings, and I grabbed a frame where I'm going to journal in, and I used some of the puffy stickers, and then I got some of the enamel dots used. And so you'll see those in some of the close-ups. I made sure to take close-ups of those areas so you could see that, and then the final product. But that is it. So I want to thank all of you for hopping along on this collab, this mini-series, whatever we want to call it, the 20 Days of Cutfiles, summer and Christmas. It's been so much fun to see everybody's creations. There's been so many. There's been like 18 at least people a day. So make sure you check out everybody else down below. Check out the new releases, 4 days of releases with 4 freebies that are good until the end of the month. And then the sale ends today as well, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'd rather tell you it ends today than the end of the month if I did. So 25% off in the shop. Thank you again so much, you guys. You have a very Merry Christmas. Goodbye.